Good morning, family. Good morning, family. Don't forget, grow some trees, grow some food, grow something. Let's get started. Good morning, family. As you can see, this entire area is so overgrown. I have let it just go wild all summer, and now I have my neighbor's grass back there growing through the fence. These shrubs need to be trimmed back. This butterfly bush, yeah, I don't know what to say. The agara's dying back. Got lavender going crazy in there. Need to trim up these two here. Look at this lavender. Hopefully it's not too woody and I can get it back down to normal. But this right here is my main concern today. Do you see that? That is all the grass that has grown through the fence from my neighbor's yard. And it is literally all the way through to the front of this bed. Look at this. And it is tangled in there with 3 lantanas and this red-tipped Photinia. So this is what I'm going to be tackling today, and I'm also going to be digging up these succulents over here because it is just way too hard to keep the grass from growing up through there, and they are pushing through the fence and into my pond enclosure. So this is not one of those fun gardening days. All right, so this is where I am now. It is late morning and it's full sun over here right now. So I'm gonna take a break on this area and start on another. And later in the evening when it starts to cool off over here, then I will come back and finish this up. But right now I am going to be starting over here on this honey myrtle tree that I have that is growing a little wild and blocking the area. I don't know much about honey myrtles. I thought it was beautiful and I bought it, and it is growing very rapidly. So right now I've started pruning it from the bottom. Let's see, trimming off some branches down there, and hopefully I'm not killing it, so we'll find out. All right, so this is what the yard looks like so far. I have just been out here chopping away, and mounds of stuff, and I still haven't dug up the succulents or anything yet, but it's lunchtime and I am hungry, so I'm headed inside, and when I come back I'll be cleaning up these cannas and a bunch of other stuff. All right guys, I am tired, but I ended up going ahead and picking up the stuff off the ground because I know tomorrow I'm gonna have to come out here and edge and cut the grass. But like I said, I haven't gone in yet to eat, and I still got to do this. And got all of this stuff up right now. And no surprise, I still have not dug up this fig tree, you guys. So I'm gonna have to do that too, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take the weed eater across the back of the fence to get all the rest of that grass out of there, because there's quite a bit in there. But now I'm going to eat lunch, and then I'll be back at it. All right guys, it is day 2 on this back bed. It's afternoon this time, and I'm tired already from my day, but I want to get this done. So today I'm going to be digging up this Cape Plumbago, which I kind of hate to disturb it right now. Look at these gorgeous blooms. So pretty, but it really needs more sunlight. So I bought the Cape Plumbago this same day that I bought this Cape honeysuckle. Look at that monster. Now, mind you, they grow the same, but they need full sunlight. And as you can see, it is shaded over here. And it's not getting the sunlight that it needs. It should have way more blooms on it, and it should be a lot bigger than what it is. So I don't exactly know where I'm going to put it. So right now I'm going to dig it up and I'm going to put it in a container until I find the perfect spot for it. Well, the root went pretty deep on this and I ended up breaking it off. But I'm hoping that I got enough to sustain it. So I'm going to go ahead and plant it in this container and hope that it survives. This was a clearance plant that I got a couple of years ago, and it's been doing pretty good over there without the sunlight and everything that it needs. So you can get a good, pretty good sorry, I got lizards over here. You can get a pretty good idea of the size that it was before I started chopping on it. So it's a pretty decent size plant, and hopefully I can move it to a place where it will get full sunlight and it will start to flourish. If you know anything about succulents, you know they come out of the ground pretty easily. They're shallow rooted, and they're really easy to root. They actually root from stems, leaves, whatever, any part of it that touches the ground or water, it will actually root for you. So you can break off pieces of a large plant, and it will sprout roots from you, for you, any place that you plant it. You don't have to wait for it to harden off. You don't have to do anything. You can actually take this piece, stick it in the ground, wait about a week before you start watering it, and it will actually root for you. Still pulling up a lot of this one over here, although I love the color on this one. They spread so quickly. So I might keep a few pieces of it. I'm not sure. I do have more, and I might just be getting rid of all of it. But it's a lot clearer in that space now, and I will figure out what else I'm going to put there, or if I'm just going to leave it blank. Not sure yet. Okay guys, if you can see, this is where the skunk came through and just smashed everything. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it all the way back, because if you look closely, you can see all of these new little leaves coming up on the stems. So this is Coreopsis, and even the longer ones that it pushes out, they develop roots wherever they touch the ground, and they form a new plant. So it's gonna look ugly for a minute because, you know, it was all bushy and green and got all flattened out and broken off. So I'm just gonna cut it all the way back down to the original plant and wait for it to just start spreading again. Also, I found a gopher in here. So that is actually what took out my yucca. But my yucca does have a few roots that are still stuck in the ground. So I pushed it down a little further and covered it, and I'm hoping that it's gonna survive. So we'll see. But you can see this one has a lot of new growth on there. So I don't feel so bad cutting them all the way back, but as you can see right here, this is where the gopher dug up and it tunneled all the way through this bed here. So I'm thinking that it probably ate my allium bulbs. So maybe a few of the gladiolas too. Not sure, but we'll wait for spring and see what actually comes up. So for now, I'm going to just go ahead and cut the rest of these. Hi, beautiful. Like I said, it's going to be ugly for a minute, but it's going to come back really quickly. While I was over here, I decided to go ahead and just cut down some of the salvia, cut down the rose mallow, pulled out a lot of things that won't be coming back. And I also decided to clean up the Tropicana and the Canna. When I clean these up, I don't always worry so much about getting all of the debris out of there. Not only is it great nutrients for the soil, but it also creates a mulch and it keeps the soil nice and moist. And as you can see, someone asked me if I ever save the seeds from my canna, and I don't, because they're in ground and I get these little rhizomes popping up all the time. They're everywhere. They spread like crazy. So I never have a problem with just chopping at the root, all the way down to the soil, should I say. Because like I said, they just spread like crazy. These were actually 2 plants. just 2. And as you can see, they have multiplied over and over again. These were both actually in my pond at one point. So now I'm off to clean up the other canna that I transplanted over there. So if you guys watched the beginning gardener series that I did, this was the little chrysanthemum that I planted. And I said, it looks like it was dead, but it definitely wasn't. So as you can see, it kind of likes it over here. It's starting to bloom. And since we're not in the hundreds anymore, I can go ahead and take this shade cloth down and get a little bit more sunlight over here for these guys. But right now, I need to clean up this canna. Okay, as you can see, it's a lot airier in there now. Did a lot more air circulation, looks a lot cleaner. Pulled out 2 of the wave petunias and cut back the others to see if they give me another flush. And still got a couple of leaves on here that I could clean up, but I think I'm gonna leave them for now. It's been a long 3 days out here in the garden, but getting the garden ready for winter, it's never all that easy. You know, we get fall and leaves start falling and plants start dying back. And we're able to see spots that we weren't able to see before. So I was able to get in here a little bit with the weed eater and get a lot of that grass knocked down. But now I gotta get in there and clean it out. So I think what I'm gonna do is over the winter now, I'm going to put grass killer back there and hopefully kill off that area under the fence where the grass is coming through, because this is some really tough grass. And as you can see, there's still a lot of it down there. So hopefully I'm gonna be able to kill some of that off and then figure out a way to keep it from coming under the fence. But now I have to finish edging up these beds. I gotta clean up all this mess. And I did actually dig up and transplant the little fig tree. So I cut off all the foliage on it, and hopefully it will shoot all of its energy down into the roots and develop a strong root system and give me a little fig tree. So we'll see. But like I said, a lot of cleaning up to do, and I still have to cut the grass. Most of the succulents that I pulled up from over there, and I need to try to get up all of these little pieces because, like I said, they will sprout all new plants, but they're all down in between the fence, so it's going to take me a while to get most of these out. But even this little piece here, just sitting on soil with a light spritzing of water here and there, it will actually sprout a whole new plant. So I've got my work cut out for me. All right, guys, it has been a productive 3 days out here. It is afternoon now. I am done for now. As you can see, the honey myrtle has been cleaned up nicely. I have a clear path through here. Cleaned up most of that back fence. Cleaned this bed up. Got most of that grass out of there. Got it down to the soil level, but I'm gonna end up putting grass killer back there because it's just gonna keep coming through the fence. I did get this Cape Plumbago up, but you know what? I think I left way too much foliage on it. As you can see, it's drooping, so it's starting to struggle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it way down and see what happens. Got the apple tree over here. Got all of the succulents up. I'm going to go ahead and pot up some of those clippings, and then I think I'll just give the rest away. And the garden looks like it's getting ready for winter, because as you can see, this is our fall. So cut down a lot of these zinnias, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut them down to the ground. I'm hoping that my black diamond crepe myrtle comes back. I'm hoping it didn't destroy too much of the roots, but crepe myrtles are pretty strong plants, and they can take quite a bit. So I'm hoping that there's enough roots under there that even if it doesn't, that another one will sprout up. But I want to say thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, did I mention that I have bulbs coming up? Look at that. That's California for you.